I believe I'm at the weight that I needed to be probably a year ago. So I'm right where I need to be. I'm walking around in a good weights at this moment. I feel strong. I feel fast as ever. And I think the most important part about this whole thing is really that what I did at 135 is what I see at 147. My mind is really set on this, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And when my mind is set on something, I go out there and I take it. So with all that being said, I'm going to beat the living dog out of Rolly Romero.
It's a family show. It's a family show.
Hey, chill, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm beating the living dog poop out of him.
There you go. That's good. Much better. Much better. Yeah.
I just feel like walking them down. You ever just feel like doing things?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people just do things, even if it's not the most efficient way. They just do things just to do it, right? You ever just do things that's not efficient, but it's just like, just do them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah, you done them like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, me too, you know? Sometimes I just, you know, it's for the thrill of the fans.
And to prove a point to him, like you really are my little brother / sister. And I will.
No. It's to prove it to the fans. I mean, it's to give the fans.
The bad blood between Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez was already impossible to ignore, but their increasingly heated exchanges have taken the build-up to another level.
I mean, I'm faster than Ryan, and I think Ryan's faster than Teo, no? Well, I mean, I clearly proved to the whole world I was faster than Ryan just because I just don't on video all day, right? Anyway, I gotta do it. Anyways, right? Because I don't do that on video all day. It doesn't mean I'm fast. There's different kinds of speed, and like I have a fast twitch, explosive speed.
So that wasn't just timing him in the exchange with that hook. You're legit faster than Ryan Garcia and Teofimo, is what you're saying.
Yeah, punch for punch, I'm faster.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe they throw quicker combinations, but punch for punch, I'm faster.
He's inaccurate because delusional is when it's not real. It's real. It's just what it is, man. I am who I am. I know what I am, and I think that's why I look at it like this. I may get something.
This is far from the typical fight promotion where both fighters politely answer questions and leave the real hostility for fight night. Every time these two get in front of a microphone, the tension seems to rise.
Do you think this will be a tense fight with low output like the Garcia fight is? Because Teo's best as a counterpuncher, and your counterpunching made Ryan keep his hands in his pocket. Like, is it going to be a tense kind of low output fight, or you don't see it that way?
I'm gonna walk him down.
Why do that when historically with him?
I'm gonna walk him down.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a troll.
I'm gonna walk him down.
I think the whole thing is like, that's the purpose of this, right? That's why I'm a lone soldier. I really roll dolo a lot of the times. I don't really make friends with the fighters, in any weight divisions. Frankly, I'll greet them, speak with them a little bit, ask them about their training. But when it comes to it, competition is competition, man. This is competition and currency, and you can't be friends in this game. I don't see it. I think that's what makes them soft. It's what makes our era a little bit fragile. So I think the guys like myself that still carry that with the heart of a champion and holding the Ring Magazine world title, I think that maybe we have a different form of looking at it. And maybe
Rolly Romero brings an unpredictable edge to every appearance, constantly firing off sharp comments while refusing to give Teofimo much credit. Teofimo, meanwhile, carries himself like a former unified champion who believes his experience will eventually expose the difference between them.
Prepare yourself to go to war against your friend.
I mean, that don't mean I don't want to punch him in the face.
Do you want to punch him in the face?
Yeah, bro. It's boxing. Boxing's fun.
All right.
You never just want to punch somebody in the face?
For sure. I'm usually the guy to my left right now, actually. Me too. He brings that out in people.
I knew that was coming.
Go ahead, Mike.
There's nothing wrong punching people in the face.
Especially if they
Sometimes
consent
people
to
deserve
it.
it.
But your friend though, bro?
Hey.
Seriously, are you gonna knock Teofimo out, bro? I'm just gonna get right to it. Are you gonna knock him out? If you get a chance to knock him out, you gonna hurt him?
Yeah, of course.
Come
bro.
on,
What you
dog.
mean?
What makes this rivalry even more compelling is the fact that these two already know each other, giving every exchange an extra layer of tension. Rolly has made his intentions obvious. He wants to make Teofimo uncomfortable both mentally and physically, while proving that he is no longer the reckless fighter fans remember from earlier in his career. Teofimo, on the other hand, appears determined to show that the loss to Shakur Stevenson did not lower his ceiling. Their interviews have practically become a separate fight, with both men battling for control of the narrative without revealing too much of their actual strategy.
22nd, and you're gonna have back-to-back wins over Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. What would that say about Rolly Romero on the world-class boxing scene?
I want to ask you guys, would I be in the Hall of Fame? I retire the next day, would I be in the Hall of Fame?
Not the Hall of Fame, no, but you would.
Hell no.
Not the Hall of Fame.
Like what?
I mean, what, you guys don't think Teal's a Hall of Famer? I mean,
Not yet, no, I don't.
You guys consider Lomachenko?
You know what?
Yeah,
No,
Lomachenko's a
Rolly
Hall of
brings
Famer,
up
no?
well, hold on, Rolly. You bring up a hell of a point about how perception
Okay.
shapes this type of stuff. If it were someone not Rolly Romero and they had consecutive wins against Ryan Garcia and
Took Ryan
Teofimo
Garcia
Lopez,
10 years.
You can almost sense them studying one another through every response. A harmless joke suddenly becomes a serious warning. One prediction turns into a challenge, and before long, everyone is discussing what could happen once the bell rings. That is exactly what makes this matchup so entertaining. Rarely has confidence, momentum, and a world title, while Teofimo brings experience, speed, and something to prove after his recent setback. Neither fighter wants to walk into August 22nd looking like the other man was right. So when these two finally meet under the lights, forget the interviews, forget the predictions, and forget all the noise. The only argument that matters will be settled inside the ring.
What you think we gonna get? Teofimo Lopez. Ain't got no power. 140 ain't knocked nobody out. He going to 47, jumping up 7 pounds. I've done it. It's different. Rolly thumping. It's different. Rolly is thumping. He can punch. He been at 47 for some time now. It's a different feeling when you get hit with them bricks. And Rolly got that freaky strength. That freaky, special freaky strength. You know.
That heated buildup between Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez already had plenty of personality. But Timothy Bradley takes the discussion in a completely different direction by asking the question nobody can avoid: which version of these two fighters is actually going to show up? Bradley immediately points to the unusual circumstances surrounding the matchup. Teofimo is coming off a loss and has somehow landed another world title opportunity, while Rolly is returning after a lengthy layoff. And that matters because 15 months away from competition is far more than a short break.
Teo, is he gonna have enough pop to keep him up off of him? Is he gonna have enough boxing ability? Which Teo gonna show up? Who's training Teo? I'm seeing some wrestlings between, the father. I don't know how true that is. I'm pretty sure his father's gonna be in his corner, but is he gonna add anybody new? Especially after the Shakur fight, because when you fight Shakur Stevenson, most guys, what they do is they reevaluate their entire career, not only their career, but they reevaluate their life, because the boxing and technical ability of Shakur just makes everybody just go, what just happened? That was different. He didn't do nothing but just use this jab the whole time and footwork. Maybe I need to do something like that. So I don't know which TO we gonna get, man. I don't know.
Then Bradley gets to the biggest question surrounding Rolly. Will we see the patient, calculated fighter who faced Ryan Garcia, or will the older, aggressive version suddenly return? That decision could ultimately determine the entire fight. Against Teofimo, reckless pressure might play directly into Lopez's hands, because he has always been dangerous when opponents give him clear opportunities to counter. But if Rolly remains disciplined, forces Teofimo to lead, and waits for the right openings, Lopez could suddenly find himself dealing with a completely different kind of puzzle. Bradley also raises another fascinating question. Does Teofimo have enough power at 147 pounds to make Rolly respect him? Moving up in weight can change a fighter physically, and it remains unclear exactly how Lopez will respond.
Way far away from black fighters, Eddie. I had to say it. I had to say it. You know, hey, I'm sorry, guys. I had to say it. I'm like, he ain't fight no more brothers. No, he done for now. He like, no, give me Rolly. No, I ain't fight no damn, I ain't fight no Haney. No, I ain't fight no Haney. Anyways, man, hey, look, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Then comes perhaps the biggest mystery of them all. What exactly did Teofimo Lopez learn from his fight with Shakur Stevenson? Bradley's point is important because a loss like that can force a fighter to completely rethink his approach, especially when an opponent makes the contest look technically uncomfortable from beginning to end. So which Teofimo are we going to see? The explosive fighter from the past, or a more patient and fundamentally refined version? We won't know until the opening bell. Bradley isn't completely convinced this is an obvious pay-per-view attraction, but even he admits he'll be watching. And honestly, that may be the perfect summary of this fight. Fans can debate the price and argue over the predictions, but once Rolly and Teofimo start exchanging momentum, it will be extremely difficult to look away.
I think you said it best. He's an awkward puncher, and he has an awkward style to him at times. He's explosive here and there when he chooses to, and that's the thing that you have to be aware of, right? So my whole thing is really focusing on those things in camp now more than ever. We're gonna dial in on this, and yeah, he's definitely underrated, honestly. But he's at the point where he needs to be. This is what it takes. He's hungry. He's here to defend his world title. He's facing a former two-time Ring Magazine world champion at that in 2 weight divisions. So I choose to be different. There's a choice in everything that we do, and I chose to be the guy that sets the tone and leads by example. Me and Rolly go way back from 2015, and I think that, you know, we built a relationship, a friendship at the same time while climbing the ranks in the professional, let's just say boxing, right? So I think that now we come to terms where we got to fight each other to let everybody know, yeah, it's cool to be friends, but when it comes to competition, it comes to what we love to do, we got to put everything to the side and make the fight happen.
Yeah, obviously we just sat down with Rolly as well, and he said the same thing, that you guys are friends. Have you ever fought somebody before that you consider to be your friends on this level?
Richard Comey.
Okay.
After struggling to make the weight at 140, Teofimo says he feels physically better now because he has more room to manage his nutrition properly. That could become important when Rolly starts bringing his natural welterweight strength. At the same time, Teofimo gave Rolly plenty of respect, describing him as underrated, awkward, explosive, and dangerous at moments when opponents least expect it. That matters because Lopez isn't pretending he's facing an easy opponent. He understands that Rolly can completely change a fight if he finds the right opening. Then came the lesson from Shakur. Teofimo essentially admitted that defeat forced him to look inward and question whether he was truly following through on the decisions he was making. That's the part I find most interesting. He isn't trying to erase the loss. He's trying to learn from it. Now he's talking about taking over 147 pounds, fighting anyone willing to step up, and eventually becoming undisputed. It's obviously big talk, but August 22nd will provide the first serious test of whether this new version of Teofimo is more than just another impressive interview.
Yeah, to that point, I feel like it's a great thing for you to not have a so-called comeback fight or stay busy fight. I feel like those aren't always the best for you. I feel like you need to get up for the fight, right?
No, I think what it is, it may seem that way, right?
Okay,
throughout
sure.
my career, right?
Yeah, I'm on the outside, right?
No, yeah, and it's perfect to hear it from you because the way you possibly think is how many others that view it think, right? And I realized something though, it wasn't that. When I was dialed in on what I was gonna do, I did it. Mm-hmm. That means I trusted something. I trusted myself. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm seeing at this point in time. I needed the Shakur jabs. I needed the Shakur fight to realize to myself, what am I here for? Why am I allowing this? It's because I wasn't following through with what I...
That confidence from Teofimo Lopez makes this matchup sound relatively straightforward, but Oya's analysis introduces a major complication. He sees the fight as a race against the clock for Lopez. And honestly, that's one of the most interesting ways to view this matchup. Oya gives Teofimo the clear technical advantage, but he isn't convinced that skill alone will save him if Rolly Romero is allowed to build momentum. That's the danger. Rolly doesn't necessarily need to dominate the opening rounds. He He can remain patient, gather information, and gradually increase the pressure, which is exactly what we saw from him against Ryan Garcia. Alya believes Teofimo has to make those early rounds count, and that makes sense because you don't want to give a naturally powerful welterweight 12 rounds to figure out your rhythm. If Lopez establishes his jab, controls the distance, and forces Rolly to hesitate early, his speed and timing could become a nightmare for Romero.
No matter what, I think, you know what I mean, because of his background. You know what I mean? A lot of guys don't give a lot of credit to that, but that's grip strength. I think Dre Ward even talked about that when he's talking about how Kovalev, he's like, how can he punch so hard but be so weak when it comes to moving him around? He probably got a ridiculous grip strength. You know what I mean? He got good punching power, good mechanics, but he ain't physically strong. You know what I'm saying? Rolly, I think, has got both, though. He got good mechanics, but he's strong. He's a strong guy because you can't be good at judo throwing other grown-ass men unless you're strong and got good grip. You know what I mean? So I think him and Crawford both got that similarity where their wrestling background make them stronger than they look, and they're able to carry their power in the higher weights where other guys might.
But if Teofimo spends the opening rounds waiting for the perfect counter, the entire fight could change. That's when Rolly can begin turning up the pressure. Alya's point about Romero's physical strength is fascinating as well. Rolly isn't simply carrying his punching power into the 147-pound division. He appears comfortable competing at the weight, and that could become increasingly important as the rounds accumulate. Teofimo may actually feel stronger than he did at 140, but we still haven't seen whether that strength and power will remain effective deep into a welterweight fight. So I'm starting to view this matchup almost like a countdown clock. Teofimo needs to make his advantages count early, while Rolly has to stay composed long enough for the fight to become physical and uncomfortable. If Lopez finds his rhythm immediately, he could make the contest look easy. But if Romero survives that early storm, Alya may have identified something important, because the later rounds could begin to favor Rolly.
Calls early in the fight. Like if he jump on Rolly and can hurt Rolly and kind of deter him for whatever his game plan is, then you know it could be a good performance for him. Because I think Rolly coming. If you don't jump out there on Rolly early, Teofimo gonna get knocked out. And the reason I say that is I haven't seen Teofimo carry his power or not only up in weight, but late in fights. You know what I'm saying? Later in fights, he wears down. I look at him as more of a front runner type of fighter, where if he beat you and get you down or get you out of here and the fight going his way for the first 6 rounds, he got you. If it's blank or he really don't open up fast, Rolly will get him out of here in 7 or 8. You know what I mean? Because eventually he's gonna start landing punches and punishing him. You know what I mean? I think he'll get him out of.
After all the interviews, predictions, arguments, and back and forth exchanges, we're finally reaching the point where none of the talking will matter anymore. Rolly brings patience, power, and confidence, while Teofimo enters with speed, experience, and something to prove following the Shakur Stevenson loss. I believe the opening rounds could be everything. If Teofimo controls the distance early, he could establish a quick lead. But if Rolly remains patient, absorbs the pressure, and keeps building his attack, this fight could become increasingly uncomfortable for Lopez as the night progresses, and that's what makes this matchup so intriguing. These are two fighters who have taken completely different paths, yet both believe this is their moment. So, who do you have winning on August 22nd? Drop your prediction in the comments and let the debate begin. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We'll see you in the next one.